Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news, Thru Hiker update, and trail information, all new for 2023. So, Happy New Year. Hope 2022 was a great year for you. You got a chance to spend a lot of time out there on the trail. And my biggest hope for you now is that you get to spend a lot more time out on the trail in 2023. It's out there waiting. It ain't gonna come to you in your living room or on that couch or in that Barker lounger. So get out there and have some fun. Enjoy God's creation. Enjoy the trails out there because they were cut and made for you. Well, let's get on and talk about what's going on with the thru hikers that are out there. So we still got a few 2002 thru hikers that are on the trail that we are currently tracking and that are updating us. So right now we've got Turtleback. He is somewhere around Bears Garden Hostel. He's probably south of there now, and that's in Southern Virginia. So in a couple days, maybe a week or so, he will be coming into Grayson Highlands. Of course, this is January 1st, so we got a lot of winter left. So, and that's at higher elevations. So some of them ponies may have a little bit of snow on their back. So be interesting to see how things go up there now that he's away from those dangerous goats that are up around Pearsburg. Jen on the trail, she has passed the two-thirds marker on her Sobo, and so she is somewhere south of 700 miles, so she has less than 700 miles to go, and she is done. So that is just awesome. She's doing somewhere around 20 miles a day, so it'll be interesting to see how long that takes her to get that. She has been battling ice and where the trail is canopied over, hadn't been maintained really well, and it's canopied over, and then that gets heavily laden with ice, so that can be an issue for her. And then, so that's all we got in the 2022. 2023 hikers are at the gate. As a matter of fact, we've already had, according to Amicalola Falls State Park, I talked to them just a few moments ago, we have already had 9 folks that have stepped off. Now, we're not tracking all 9 of those. We have had several that are on our list that were supposed to step off today. Don't know if they have or not, but so far they have registered 9 hikers, and that was as of sometime around like 3 o'clock today. So, but folks that are stepping off from our support list this either today or this coming week, that's Chuck Falconberry. He's Polar Bear, which he actually already stepped off in October. Kenny, Bartman, Prepper, Great Grandpa, and Jeff and Maya Esterbrook are stepping off either today or coming up this week. So looking forward to them and seeing their hikes and everything and how things are going with them. In the future, if you step off, please let me know. Send me an update. Let me know as soon as you can that you have stepped off. And I'd like to have a picture of the logbook where you register to sign in. Now, they don't like for you to take a picture of that. They're worried about public information or personal information that's on that logbook getting out there, but I assure you that's not going to happen. I'll blank it out if I show the logbook, but what I'm really interested in is the number of where we are in the registrations, and that's on the left column, and on the right column is pack weight. So I like just to keep up for data and share with you guys what kind of average pack weights that we have that are going on out there. So some stats from my sign-up list. Now, this is not the ATC's sign-up list. It's my support list. 85% of the folks that have signed up on there are Nobo, 14% are flip-flop, and 1% are Sobo. So we'll have some those Sobo numbers will go up. Folks said, and even flip-flop numbers may go up because right now mainly Nobos have already registered, and we are having a lot of flip-floppers that have registered, but not so much on the Sobo folks right now. The over half of those folks that are on my list are doing the approach trail, so somewhere around 54%, and then about a third of those are starting at Springer, with the rest of the folks starting at Harper's Ferry or somewhere in between. So registrations with the ATC, this week we are up about 89. So last week we were at 1640, and this week we're at 1,729 Nobo that have signed up. Flip-floppers, we were at 92. We gained 5 up to 97. And Sobo, we were at 56 and we gained 3 up to 59. So that gives us a total last week. We're at 1,788 thru hikers that have registered. And we're now this week at 1,885. So that's a grand total of 97 that have registered since last week. And of course, not everybody registered, depending on who you talk to with the ATC. Anywhere from 10% to 25% of the people actually don't register their hike with the ATC. So you're not required to do that in order to have your thru hike. Even you're not required to do that in order to be recognized by the ATC as completing a thru hike. So, but that is the best information we have, and so that's what we go by. We're maxed out for 2 days still, so that hasn't really changed over the past couple weeks. And at this time of the last few years, it looks like the numbers are trending a little lower from what they've been doing. So in 2020, at this time, January 1st, 2020, we were at 1,403 folks that had registered. 2020 was kind of a COVID year when people were a little concerned still about COVID. So that data is not really great. But then in January 1st of 2021, which 2021 and 2022 were kind of catch-up years for folks that didn't get to do it or had to come off trail during COVID. So 2021, we're at 1,934, and 2022, we are at 2,191. And this year, January 1, we're at 1,885. So we are down somewhere around 350, something like that, folks from last year. So that trend is going down after going up for a few years. If you're a thru hiker and you want to be included in my weekly updates, you can go down below. There's a link where you can go to sign up for the support list, and there you'll be able to put your social media there with whatever your social media is, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, trail journals, what have you. And that way then the hiker community can also go over and see that, and they can give you an add a hiker all the way to Springer or all the way to Katahdin or whichever direction you're going. They'll be able to cheer you on and be your cheerleader there. We do have over 100 folks, hikers, that have signed up so far, and there are several of those who do not have social media accounts listed. So you may just have not had time to put those in or get those started, so you can go back and add those later. So be sure and do that. If you're out there on the trail and you want me to do it for you, I can do that, but it takes some time for me to do it, and I'm not always just right there at my computer to be able to do that. But we do want to include everybody as much as possible. If you're a member of the hiker community, tracking through hikers out there, that is the best place by and large to go to find folks with social media. And that link is down below in the description section as well. So some trail news out there. We lost another 2 or 3 hikers over this past week in the Franconia State Park up in the White Mountains. So another 3 hikers died up there. Of course, it's all due to weather. This time we did have one hiker, I guess it's due to weather, a week or so ago, who slipped and fell 300 feet and died. But these were due to weather related. So basically folks starting out the trailhead, ascending several thousand feet, temperature dropping, weather moving in, they just were not prepared for that. And so it cost them. And it cost them with their lives. So they died of exposure, hypothermia to the weather conditions. So obviously that's a death that affects not obviously that person, but everybody in that person's family. But something that a lot of people don't consider, it also puts other lives in danger. There's agencies that respond up there, people who are payrolled, but there's also probably more volunteers that respond than anybody up there to when it comes to be a search and rescue going on. So that puts their lives at danger. If in the case of one of the hikers, they were being tracked by their family on their phone, and they saw that their phone was starting to lose batteries pretty significantly, and they were off trail. So their family called the authorities, and the authorities responded as fast as they could. But you know, it takes several hours to get people together, get them to the trailhead, get them on trail, hiking in the general direction of the last known position of that person. And then it's going to take several hours for them to get there, depending on the weather conditions, and then maybe several hours to even find that person. And typically when you're in those kind of weather conditions, you don't have several hours. You may only have minutes. And so in that case, it usually turns out being a recovery mission rather than a search and rescue up there. So just keep that in mind. Don't put other people at risk. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't let your family go through that. Be prepared. Look what the weather's doing, not only at the trailhead, but figure out what it's doing at elevation. Look at what the forecast is going to be for the next 24 hours, because you don't know how long you're going to be up there. You could fall down and get hurt. So it wouldn't hurt to look at the next 48 hours. But if there's any question in mind, don't go. And if you start going up there and you feel like this is a little sketchy, or even get the hint that you may not be prepared, turn around. Live another day. That trail is going to be there the rest of your lives, more than likely. So just don't go up there and risk your life and risk the lives of other folks. So Adco, Appalachian Trail Kickoff, which is held typically the first week in March down at Amicalola Falls State Park. That being the approach trail to the southern terminus at Springer. That's where it's held, and it's just usually a time for the hiker community to get together. It's the first weekend in March, so March 1 is when right now is maxed out with over 50 hikers that are hiking, and 50 is considered the trail capacity by the ATC, although I question that because no shelters can hold 50 people. There's no combination shelters within a day's hike of Amicalola Falls or Springer that can hold together 50 people. So obviously the folks will be dispersed up there, but they do it every year. But anyway, that's what they set it at. But back to Adco. So Adco is supposedly, according to the visitor center, going to happen this year. The visitor center was torn down and is in the process of being rebuilt, and is not due to be completed until May. So the visitor center was right across the street from Adco parking. There's a little small field there where Tent City was put up, and so people camped out there. Cost like $5 a night or something like that. So both those areas are probably staging areas for the visitor center construction. So haven't been able to get in touch. I've called down there, left a message with the person who's supposed to be in charge of that. They have not got back to me yet, but it wasn't that long ago that I left that message with them. So hopefully by next week we'll have some answers for you on what's going on with Adco down there. Where you're gonna park, where you're gonna have Tent City again and stuff. As we get closer to the end of a construction project, and I know this from experience because I'm a general contractor and a construction administrator for an architectural firm. There's less and less need for staging areas, less and less need for multiple parking. However, there's always a slew of white pickup trucks and vans and subcontractor transportation and trailers and stuff like that, connexes, storage trailers around a construction site. So if it's not due to be in March, that's still March, April, May sometime. That's still 3 months that there could be stuff in the way where alternative arrangements may have to be made for Adco. So we'll see. We'll let you know that as soon as I know that. And then the 2022 End of Days Foothills hike is done, in the books. I want to thank everybody who came out for that. It was really a great time in the hiker community. We had about 30 people that started, and around 11-ish finished is the best I can do, on best knowledge that I have on that. So Fresh Ground was there supporting the first couple days, and then the last day there's a section in there that's about a 3-day hike section where Fresh Ground can't get to you. But other than that, it was great. Everybody had a great time that came in and told me about it. People have been posting pictures on the Facebook page for the hike. That link's down below as well. And just encourage you to go there and see what the hiker community is all about and more than likely it's a year out, but more than likely we'll be doing it again next year. And I'm just looking forward to that. But I'm really, really looking forward to this coming hiking season and seeing what's going on with the Thru Hikers out there. So don't forget to report in to me, Thru Hikers, and don't forget, if you're a Thru Hiker and you want to be included in the update, to go down and sign up for my support list. Folks, that's all I got this week. As always, Happy New Year. Appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.